from the experience. Okay, fair enough. Let's move to the next part, and that is we come to the developmental leadership style. Now, the sustained use of this leadership style leads to independence or interdependence. It leads to independence. That means I always say that again, my life learning on the leadership part is the success of any good manager is that you become useless to your team. I'm little ruthless in saying so, but that's the goal because I want to develop my team. I want to see that how my team is more independent. That whatever my goal was, that if they can do a job where they are giving fully performing in their role, I think now I'm useless. In other words, I'm ready for the next level. I'm ready for the next role, and I have somebody who's ready to come and succeed to my role. So if you go by the developmental leadership style, you create that kind of independent employees who can do work more effectively. In this, if you use this more teamwork provided is moderated well, there is a high degree of learning amongst people as we saw in the behavioral style, because every time there is a conflict, there is a failure, there is a mistake. Developmental leadership style wants to give you a feedback that how you have learned from those mistakes, how you are going to apply it in the next time when you face the same situation. Professionalism and system orientation is increased. There is high satisfaction and culture building, and there is empowerment with people. All these things will start happening once you have a developmental leadership style. But as I said, these are styles. This can only happen once you are able to move from critical to benevolent and then comes to development. Now, with whom you should use this? With competent employees. You cannot use this with people who have a, like you were asking Ashok, somebody who is with low attitude and low, and you try to give him a development. That is where you need to be critical. That is where you need to show that, you know, you have to come to an expected level. So you use with competent employees. Use this with your star performers or your superstar performers, so that they see that my manager is investing time and effort to on their development. Or those who need to be kept independent and protected from this angle of competition, because your high performers are always getting poached by the competition. Okay, so that's how we have to look at these leadership style. I have a few exercises that I can mail it to Tasneem, and that will come to you, where you need to really look into this, that what kind of leadership style, some insights that my dominant leadership style as perceived by me, then by your juniors, what is the positive effect of my style seems to be, how do you think about yourself, the negative effects of my style could be, and areas I would like to improve my style of behavior, which includes management of mistakes, rewards, or task allocation, because these are the situations that we face very often. And the second part of this exercise is situations in which I would like to practice different styles are. So you write a situation and then you write what is the style or action that you would propose. So this will give you some insight about how to take this forward with your team and develop your leadership styles based on the situations that you undergo. Okay, so that calls for the end of this session today. And just
Arun,
need your
sorry, I just wanted to ask one question. I know you talked about this, but if you can give some practical examples, how does one move from being a benevolent to a developmental leader? Like, how do you, sorry, go ahead.
okay. So the very simplest thing that you would have seen, that the benevolent leader is more about likes and dislike. He favors people whom he like. This is the basic thing. He is more of a protective kind of a nature.
Right.
Now, if I really need to look at it, my goal as a leader is to develop people. Now, whether you are A, B, or C, so I should not be having any specific liking or disliking. I should be talking more from the perspective of overall development of my team, because at the end, your role is to create more leaders. Your role is not to create more followers, isn't it? So
Right.
when you have to create more leaders, when it is a tough conversation, you have to have tough conversation, even if people who are, uh, who have very high liking towards you, or you have very high liking towards them, whom you protect. So when
Right.
it comes to the performance, you need to really talk about performance. If it is bad performance, bad attitude, bad behavior, you have to really address it. And you very clearly mention that you will not accept anything less than what is expected behavior for a given task or a situation, as we saw. Or in situations when people fail, instead of protecting them, talk to them about what have they learned, what are their learnings in from those failures, how they can improvise better next time, rather than saying, okay, main sambhal lunga, I will manage, don't worry, even if it is failure, I will manage. So don't take it on you, because next time also he knows, even if he does a wrong thing or miss out, you are there to protect him. But
Mm.
next time, make them more accountable.
Right.
What will they do next time when they face this situation? Give them more challenging tasks. Now they realize that my boss is no more like that, he's or she's asking me to deliver more than, and that's how they get challenged. And then you evaluate them and give them a open feedback,
Right. That would.
not like a feedback of favoritism. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was saying that would really help in reducing their dependency on the leader, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
obviously. And see, as I said, you have to create more leaders. You have to think as a on a leadership role. How, see, I remember a lot of time, when we take interviews of people, we normally ask them, what are your success stories? And we always want to listen that they should talk about something related to how they have been able to develop more leaders by having more people under them getting promoted, which
Right.
is a sign that they have been able to inculcate certain right behaviors, habits, and attitudes that they or and not necessary. Sometimes your people are getting promoted within. They may be recognized outside. That's your leadership, that they were trained and they became capable to that level.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That
Yeah,
was
sure.
super helpful.
Any other question, feedback on this leadership styles? Lot of silence means either everything is very very clear or it's
No,
clear and it
no,
has
it is
gone.
definitely, no, no, it is definitely very clear.
Excellent. Okay.
But I think that exercise that you'll share with Tasneem would help.
I will definitely. I'll actually, she already has that,
Okay.
but I will tell her to mail it to all of you. And later, like if you want, if it can be shared with me, I will then give my feedback on that also. But as
Perfect.
I said, 360-degree would be a great tool.
Yeah.
If you guys can inculcate at some point of time, it will be a good help. It becomes a beginning point for all of you.
Right. I mean, we can definitely do it with our team on a smaller scale.
Yeah. So overall, any feedback since we have ended this session, and I think this was our last session. We have been meeting for last 3 weeks. This is the third week that we have met. So any feedback that you want to share on your learnings?
Uh, I'll go first, I guess.
Go ahead.
But it was really, really helpful. It made me introspect a lot. How I am as a thinker and as a leader, and which direction I need to take, and not just for the benefit of my own growth, but also like the people who work with me, my peers, my subordinates. So that was really helpful.
Any session in your mind, or any, because as I said, you may undergo a lot of things, a lot of models or concepts, but you pick up one or two pieces.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the most that stuck with me was the six types of thinking hats. Like I never thought about it that way. So like if I ever like run a project, having those six type of thinking hats in my team or assigning that sort of a role would really help.
Excellent.
And definitely this session, like this is probably something that at least personally I'm kind of new to. So having understanding the different types of leadership and what is the path forward, that is super helpful.
So today you could only get the flavor of 25% of
I
my total
know,
session.
I
Really
know.
not because you missed it. I'm saying this is a big session. Otherwise,
Right, right. Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, yeah.
anyways, thanks. Anybody else?
So can we structure the feedback in three things? One is something which you heard for the first time and you liked it, something which has stayed with you over a period of 3 sessions, and the one which you already knew before coming to this session. If we structure it that way, it will be very interesting to understand.
Yeah. Thanks, Vikram.
Sorry, I just barged in.
No,
I
no,
wanted to know what's happening here.
yeah. Always happy and welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, Samil, most silent and smiling.
Yeah, this was a really nice session. I didn't attend the second one, but the first one and third one, the one I attended.
Be a little louder.
Yeah, sure. So it was really nice. I missed the second session, basically the last second one. The first one and last one was really nice, and the many things we were doing actually, like even if you take an example of today's when the different levels of leadership, like critical or developer, whatever. But now we understood, like when we want to be a development point of view of a leader and when we want a critical leader. So we really got the difference. So be a development leader won't really want to help the company or the team, right? Sometimes I should be a critical leader and the work, right? So that was really a understanding for me, and this was a real learning for me. It's a different way of how we need to take the situation and handle the situation. And that was really one. And second one, I really like the today's Ashish example. That is basically when I went through that situation, to be frank. So it was really a nice example which taught many things actually, right? So that cannot explain how it was, but it was really nice one. That one. And the other one, like as you mentioned, like from the childhood onwards, we know the leaderships, the different perspective. When we come to the professional life, the leadership is entirely different, right? So those differences also really taught me the different way, especially the movies, what you showed, right, through the visuals, right? That will be always in mind. Then you're telling that this is what Shah Rukh Khan did in that movie. I really feel like I should watch the movie again today to understand the different levels of the leadership.
So Ashok, he is a visual guy. Every time you have to tell him, you have to show him something. Then he will recollect.
Yeah.
Samir is finding excuses to watch the movie.
No, that's really like it was really nice actually. So thanks for the session. It was really nice. Anyway, I missed the second one. I'll try to make it out something from others. I'll talk to studio and other people. How was the second one? I'll make it out.
Excellent.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Arun. Thanks a lot.
Let's move quickly to Ashok. Why don't you take it?
You're mute, Ashok. Yeah.
Yeah, as Samil said, one thing that I did learn is that we can choose our management style or leadership style. It is not, I was thinking, okay, my style is this and it's not going to change, right? But now I realize that style is actually a tool that we can choose. I can be critical if needs be, when needed, or I need to be critical when it needs to be, right? That is something interesting. I never thought about it like that. So yeah, probably I will experiment with it. Yeah, that's something which I can say. Yeah.
So as I told you, Ashok, earlier also, it's like leadership is like parenting, you know. So you see your son or your kid, you know, is becoming indisciplined, you automatically become critical. You should be, you know, sleeping at this time. You will not get this, and all that stuff start happening.
Yeah. So, but
I
you know,
think our first leadership lesson comes from our mothers, right?
yes, yeah. How to, yes, that's one of the exercises in this program was to actually make us write. What do you learn from your mother? As you know, what do you learn as about leadership from your mother? From your,
That was first question, I think. Yeah?
yes, which is very interesting. Yes, because
Yeah.
Anybody else want to speak? Arun, who was the most silent person?
I have not heard Himanshu since.
Himanshu sits just next to me here. I can't see him. Where is he? Himanshu, bolo. I know you're sitting in the cafeteria. I can see.
Yeah, Himanshu, I think you attended a part of the session today. I think when we started from the leadership styles. So any feedback, Anything that you want me to work on so that in future sessions we can be a little more prepared? So say it from both the sides.
I feel like the overall session was really good. So basically, there are a lot of things that I'm already aware of, but it helped me add notions to those things. Now, as I have like notions to those, basically now I can clearly decide, basically what would be the next step for me from here onwards. Arun, can you also share the slides? There are a lot of things in it which I would like to review again.
The current slides that you're talking today's session?
Session and the previous session both.
Previous session. Okay, I'll be in touch with Tasneem. I've already keep sharing all the slides with her every program.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Tushara, you were saying something and
Yeah, no, I attended all the 3 sessions. Everything was great. And that mainly that styles like that big picture people and internal, external. So that was very good. And
Communication styles.
everything, yeah, that thinking styles. So we should approach people in according to their style rather than in our own thinking style. And today's thing, like if you said like different strokes for different folks. So that is a good thing. Like we should approach people with whoever needed, critical manager. Other case, it should be in some case development management. So we should be working on that.
Excellent.
Thank you, Arun. It was everything excellent.
Great. Thank you very much. And my only belief for everyone is that post the training sessions, that said that by the time we reach the 30th day, this all goes little haywire. It's all just fades. But the only best thing is, even if you have picked up 1 or 2 things out of the entire program, I want you to experiment it out and then experience it out, because that will bring new learnings to you. Otherwise, you will continue to do the same thing that you have been doing, and then you will say, oh, life is all good, and then you still encounter the same problems again and again. Right? Yeah. Yes, Rekha. So
yes, Tushara, over to you. Who else wants to talk?
Yes, yeah, it was really great, and most of the things are really new to me, and I never thought of being a leader or anything, so everything was really new. And what I was trying was either from the managers, I thought there will be an example, right? They managed me like this and managed me like this. I got from just the examples. Now I got to know that there are different cases, and according to the occasions, you need to change your roles, your styles. So that all were new. And one thing that really struck, and I will keep remembering, that's the 6 thinking hats that I always remember from this main thing, and also today's session as well. So yeah, I thought I never thought that one should be critical role. So now I got to know that you should change that occasionally. So I will try to do that as well. So it was really great for me, because it shared me more occasions that I have never came across yet. So I can be prepared. So it was really great. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Great.
Thank you, Jishnu.
Good to hear you, Jishnu, after a long time.
Yeah.
Vignesh, anything you want to add?
Yeah, for me, it's very great. And I have related a lot of things me. Also, it's not only helped in professional way, it's also helped me in my personal things. Like I have to listen to my family. I have learned a lot actually from the first lesson. I mean, from the first session that I have explained us about the it's more about listening. And I have to related a lot of things in regards to critical, where I have to be critical, where I have to be more developmental. And I have already scheduled a lot of things to my team now. So it's actually, it's practically I have to do a lot of things. It will help me more.
Excellent. I think I'm happy that some of you were able to recollect the first session, which happened almost 3 weeks back. And
That's great.
So as I said always, 1 thing or 2 things, if it retains with you, it will help you over a period of time if you work on it.
We had a very small group, Arun, right?
I always wanted a big house, but this is what is given to me.
And I hope majorly it is dominated by men, no? Okay. They have kept you engaged rather than you keeping them engaged.
Yeah, either way, it's fine because
Either way, okay.
it's always mutual.
They are our stalwarts of the tech team.
I'm sure. And that's what I learned from them, that in the last 3 sessions that I wanted to, as you said, engage, I tried my best to engage because the previous team was the other side, so I had to really ask them a lot of things that, tell me from your experiences so finally, I think it is coming out that because everybody goes through these personal effectiveness scenarios in their course of life and in their professional work.
I can vouch for the team that this team particularly is more work than talk. So they have been doing a lot of good work.
Exactly.
And
so that's what
we seldom hear them. So good to see all of you on the same platform.
So on the last program, that was what we gave them, how to be a confident speaker, how to tell stories. So my one assignment is still pending on them, which I told them, and I'm reminding in your presence that they need to create a video. They need to create a video of a story that they want to convey. Even if they don't send it to me, they want to send it to you, it's fine. But I really encourage them. I motivated them. I'm still showed them a lot of my students, who are taking coaching from me. They are sharing their videos, how they are trying to develop their skills. So it is something, it is going to help them on a long term. So still pending. You guys need to do that for yourself, not for me.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Arun.
Yeah,
You've been very patient with the team.
No, I really enjoyed it.
And thanks a lot to all of you who have learned together. I hope if each one of you have learned a 1 minute session also is a great thing. And the time which you have spent here is very valuable for all of us. So I hope you will take back a lot of good things and implement it in for your own effectiveness rather than looking at it from an organization or a leadership or any other aspect. It's more important if I can make a smallest change in myself. That is what is the value.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Shruti, you didn't. Okay, you went first. Okay.
I spoke. I think Arun is tired of me.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I encourage that when people talk and it always gives us a new way of learning. Okay.
Yeah, everybody needs a starter, Hello, all the best.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. More power to all of you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.